What's good, everybody?
Yo, what up?
We are back again.
Yeah, you know what time it is.
You already know what show this is. If you've been rocking with us, you've been tapped in, you've been tuned, you already know that I go by the name of Rip16, the GOAT. This guy right here.
Ty the Jet, man.
And we taking off this week again, man. After a very interesting week 15.
Yeah, I took some chances.
Before we get into week 16, speak about those chances. What was your record from last week?
I think it was like 7-9. It was terrible.
7-9.
I think it's the worst week so far this season.
Yeah. By far, that was your
worst week so far this season. I was taking some chances. I was rolling the dice on some plays, on some picks.
Yeah,
Didn't go my way.
I tried to tell you about a couple of them.
It's all good.
I tried to tell you.
It's all good.
Tried to told them. I went 10-6 this week. So that brings me here to say that I hope you was following this guy's picks and not that guy's picks, because I would have won you some monies. But for the grand total on the season, you still have a positive record. That's the great news here. Yeah, you're at a grand total of 148-76 for the season, and I am at a grand total of 131-93 for the season. So we still chugging along, still got a few more weeks, and hopefully you take this opportunity to bounce back.
I'm always gonna bounce back.
Take this opportunity to bounce back, and I take this opportunity to be even better. So make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe if you aren't already tapped in with us over here at No Hedging Podcast. And without further ado, I hope you watch Takeaways, because this right here is what we like to call the rundown.
It's time for the rundown. Let's get to it, baby.
All right, man. First game on the slate, we have the New Orleans Saints. Who dat? Versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are a 4-point favorite in this game at home. What say you?
Yeah, so what say me? I do like the Rams in this spot. They are coming off of 2 games away. This is the first game that they have back at home in 3 weeks. So very good spot for them. They just had a nice win this past weekend. And I think they continue getting that thing rolling. The Rams are a really good team. They are a really good team. They started off kind of slow and sputtering, but they started picking up once some of their players got back healthy, got back in the fold. So, with a healthy Rams team against a New Orleans Saints team that is still inconsistent at times as far as scoring, they did dominate a New York Giants team that really doesn't have much of an offense. And they were coming off of a high or whatever the case may be from beating the Packers.
That Green Bay game.
But nevertheless, I think the Rams are a better team. They have the better quarterback, and they are at home. So I like the Rams in this spot.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with you on that one. I think the Rams, when healthy, they are a very high-quality team there. Like we talked about before, getting Kyron Williams back, Cooper Kupp being healthy, having Puka, having Matthew Stafford back, having all these guys on your offense. Matthew Stafford has been called a very good game manager. And I think he distributes the ball well. He doesn't make a ass of turnovers. So I think he runs the offense pretty well, and Kyron Williams is still he's a top-tier running back in my eyes.
Yeah, he's up there.
So Kyron Williams being out there, makes a difference, and I don't think that New Orleans defense really does much to stop him. I can't think of anybody who's just going to be scary to stop the run out there. But
they did a good job of stopping Saquon, but that's the Giants' offensive line, man. They're not that good.
The O-line is not giving him much of a gap to really get through.
Then the scheme sucks, too.
They've been better. They've been playing better,
for
sure, than they were when Daniel Jones was out there, because they was just getting their ass tore out the frame. But, yeah, man, I'm going with the Rams in this one. Like I said, I think Kyron is going to be the difference in this one. But, of course, they still have their passing weapons, Puka, Cooper, those guys. Tight ends out there. They got a couple of young rookies. They got some things to make the offense work. So, going with the Rams. Next game on the slate, we have the Buffalo Bills surging back for a playoff spot against a Los Angeles Chargers team that needs some milk. Love those guys, but they're an 11-point underdog at home in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much we talk about home dogs here, but I don't see it this time. I know sometimes a team can get an energy boost when you fire a head coach. Thank you for getting Brandon Staley out of town. Should have happened about 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
last year, really.
Yeah. Yeah, after that Jaguars lost in the playoffs. Yeah. But nevertheless, don't see the Chargers winning this game. Even if they do get a boost and resurge, I'm not sure if Keenan Allen will be back operational for this game. But
even still,
Easton Stick was not
good
doing that much against the Raiders. He managed to put together a few drives later on, but at that point it was dead. And 63 points. I mean, you ain't coming back from that. So do I think it'll be that atrocious? I think they'll come out and play a little bit more inspired. Now, I do say this point spread is high, even for that team, but the way that Buffalo's playing, they do have a possibility of even covering that. Not gonna lie, but I definitely like Buffalo Bills to win.
Yeah, I agree. I like Buffalo in this spot. They are desperate for every W they can get right now to try to make their way into the playoffs, especially against another AFC team.
For sure.
So I think, they take this energy that they had against Dallas Sunday afternoon and they roll it on into the Los Angeles and they end up beating the Chargers. Obviously, no Justin Herbert. That's a problem.
Big problem.
Keenan Allen kind of banged up. Then, like you said, they fired their coach, fired the GM. It can either make them play a little inspired or make them not play inspired at all. So, either way, I don't think the Chargers have enough to beat the Bills in this spot. So, I'm taking Buffalo.
Yeah, man. I hope the Chargers go down, try and get in that conversation, try and pull Marvin Harrison or somebody out the draft, do something.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
Yep.
Next game on the slate, we have we got something a little bit out of order, but next game on the slate, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans are a 2.5-point favorite in this game, which is very interesting to me, considering the Browns with Joe Flacco have been cooking.
Yeah.
Is that because C.J. Stroud is back?
I think so. He might come back and play this week. It was a concussion, so he missed out that first week. Yeah. So he should be coming back to play this week.
I'm assuming that's the expectation. And they did manage to win against Tennessee without him in overtime. They won by 3. So that was an impressive win for them.
But Will Levis got banged up, though, and, it was Tennessee. So
yeah.
And that's a divisional game.
Yeah. But the reason why it was impressive because they were already on their backup quarterback. But as we had alluded to last week, Davis Mills did not play bad when he was
when he had the starting spot.
When he had the starting spot last season. So he did decent. So they managed to pull it off. But you think they'll pull it off against the Browns defense though?
Nah, I'm taking the Browns defense. I'm taking the Browns on this one. I don't know why it's 2.5. I see why it's 2.5.
It's a home game.
But defense travels, man. And that Cleveland Browns defense, they travel. They still do what they're gonna do. CJ missing a week. For him to get reacclimated against this Browns defense is probably not the best for him.
It's a bad spot.
You know what I mean? So I think this Browns defense does enough to, help the offense where the offense doesn't have to score as much points. But, you got a serviceable Joe Flacco who's been playing pretty well since he's been inserted
great. 374 last week.
Inserted into the lineup. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns here to take the Browns defense. The Browns defense travels, especially on the road. The offense has been pretty serviceable. And it's some sort of connection starting to build with Flacco and the receiver core and Amari Cooper and
Njoku.
And they're starting to get things rolling. So I'm taking the Browns here.
Yeah, man, all of that. I think Flacco has been cooking. I think the defense has been cooking all season. you know, they had a couple victories where people kind of questioned how they got it or whether it was a collapse on the other team. But I think the way that they surged back, the way that they've managed to rotate with 4 different quarterbacks this season and still managed to have a winning record and be a wild card team at this point in the season, I think is highly impressive. I'm going to go with the Browns. I think it's not a great spot for CJ to come back, even though he needs to come back because they're in the middle of a tight playoff race too. So he got to try. But I think both teams need this W, so I'm gonna go with the defense.
Yeah, and they jockeying both of these teams. They jockeying for a wild card spot.
They
you know what I'm saying? For
so
these
it's
W's.
a very important game. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Shall see. But next game on the slate, we have the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings are a 3-point home dog in this one. What say you about that one?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions in this matchup here, man. I think the Lions kind of picked their faces off the ground this weekend with their win.
Over the Broncos?
Pretty dominant fashion from the jump. You know what I mean? So, going into, Minnesota, even though this is a divisional game, it seems like Minnesota sometimes struggles to score points here and there, especially with this quarterback situation that they've been going through.
They made it work last week.
They made it work. They did. But I think, Detroit is probably trying to get in the shootout in Detroit is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit, they can score points. Now, the Detroit's defense is a different story, even though they played pretty
Justin
decent.
Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Mullen is not scared to throw the ball down the field. He's a gunslinger. But I don't know how well he can read the defense with all that gunslinging. So we're going to see how that fares.
I like Detroit here.
Really on the fence about this one. It could be an upset. I'm not going to lie.
It could be. I mean, because you got to think about it. Like, they play each other. They still got to play each other again after this in Week 18.
And they're at home. I'm almost leaning towards the Vikings on the points. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and take Detroit. I'm gonna take Detroit to win this game. I think they had an impressive win against a good defense in Broncos last week.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern is what golf am I gonna get outside?
Outside
in the cold?
They playing.
They playing in a dome in Minnesota. Yeah. So what golf am I gonna get on the road? But it is in a dome, so he has favorable conditions a little bit. So we're gonna go with golf and the Lions on this one. I think they got enough firepower over there. But that Vikings defense has been known to slow some teams down.
Yeah,
they dial it up. So we're gonna see how he handles the blitz because it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's coming. But I wouldn't be surprised at a cover. Next game on the slate, we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Carolina Panthers. The Packers are a 4.5-point favorite on the road against Carolina in this game on Christmas Eve. Despite another rare win over, unfortunately, my Atlanta Falcons, I'm still not picking Carolina to beat Green Bay in this game. They don't really have much support. I don't see this as a point in the season where they're about to go on some type of phenomenal win streak. I think they're just going to keep on losing. And I'm going to take Green Bay in this spot. They got more firepower. They're playing more inspired, and they have a lot more to play for than the Panthers do at this point. So it's actually better if the Panthers lose for them at this point. So fuck it. Give me Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay, man. I'm going to take them on a bounce back week because they lost to Tampa at home at that. So I don't think they expected that. Tampa outplayed them. Baker Mayfield went crazy. So I think, with the lack of quarterback play that Carolina has, I think that defense plays a little bit better, especially coming off of that loss. The offense, they can score points, so I'm not concerned with that. And, like you said, they have a lot more to play for in this spot. Yeah. Even though the Panthers, they probably feeling good about themselves by getting that dub, by kicking, 3 field goals? That's crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Green Bay to bounce back in this game here, beating the Carolina Panthers.
But
I'm not picking
the Panthers consider anyway. Props.
I'm not picking the Panthers on nothing.
Consider your field goal props. I will consider that because the Panthers will keep you out of the end zone.
Pack goal.
The Packers have been known to keep people low scoring, though. Not going to cap. So I consider that, but I ain't picking them to win. Next game on the slate, we have an interesting one. We have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
The Colts are a 1-point underdog in this game versus the Falcons, who are returning home after an abysmal, horrendous, tragic, terrible loss on the road to the Panthers. I'll let you speak on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts in this spot, man. I think the Colts they're fighting for a playoff spot. Atlanta, kinda, sorta. They need a lot more help from a lot of different people.
They need some milk.
But I think the Colts are gonna come down. They're gonna play very, very well. I think the Colts have the better quarterback than any of the Atlanta Falcons quarterbacks. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Colts on this one on the road in Atlanta. I see it in a close one as well. The Colts, they're going to throw the ball, man. They're going to air it out, and they're going to make plays. That's just what they do, right? Gardner Minshew, he's one of those quarterbacks that's going to run around, extend the play, throw something down the field. And the Colts have some offensive guys who may not have big names, but they make plays, and they make plays in moments that matter. Yeah. Catching these touchdowns in the red zone. They score in the red zone. And all these different things. Atlanta, on the other hand, it seems like they're folding, man. They're reeling right now. They've lost 2 in a row, and it's not looking pretty for them right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Colts.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to Colts up with you on this one. Got to take the Colts as a dog. They showed some pretty impressive defense. They've been continuing to show that they can produce on offense with Minshew.
Oh, yeah. Falcons making a change, too. What's the name starting? Heineke starting this week.
Well, I mean, that's a positive with the turnovers. I mean, we're going back to Heineke. I wasn't really sure why Heineke got pulled. But I think they just want to push Ritter. They got a lot of stock in Ritter and believe in him real heavy, so they want to give him a shot. But
we seen what he can do.
I think Heineke definitely makes it a lot more interesting in this game. And he's capable of pulling off a win against a Colts team. We're gonna see how inspired they play, but I'm thinking that the Colts got more to play for. Because the Falcons kind of kicked themselves in the ass.
Yeah, they shat the bed. They really pooped their pants.
Their bed on that one. And losing that game after the Buccaneers and the Saints win, and you were tied with them, that's tough. Maybe
tragic.
Just
tragic.
Tragic. Maybe if it's some upsets this week or those other 2 teams lose, they can kind of balance it out. They still got a glimpse of hope, but I don't know. It's tough.
They got the Bears after that, and they got
but the Buccaneers and the Saints play each other, so one of them gonna lose.
Yeah.
So that adds something.
I said they got a little shot. They got to win out. They got to win out.
They got to win these games, though. But I don't know if I believe it. Next game on the slate, we have the Seattle Seahawks coming off a very impressive win against the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are 2.5-point home dogs in this one. But Will Levis injured. That's gonna be a problem. You need a quarterback. He's already coming in as the second quarterback this season. So again, as we talked about in our wonderful segment takeaways, this is the year of the backup, but I don't even know who's coming after the backup. So
no clue.
So don't get me to lying. And with that being said, after what I saw out of the Seahawks backup, Even though you might get Geno back in this game because it was
Oh,
expected.
Malik Willis is the third string.
Okay.
Black dude.
Yeah. We're going to see what he can do, though, but he ain't played. So, we don't know what he's going to do. But coming off of that big win for Seattle, I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this spot. I think DK Metcalf has come on strong. He's turned into like the clutch go-to receiver. He's like a security blanket for them at this point, whether it be Geno or Drew Lock out there. I think they're serviceable. I think Tyler Lockett had some ugly catches on Monday, some ugly drops on Monday Night Football. So I expect him to come out and play better.
Yeah.
And Jigba is still cooking, and Noah Fant and Disley, all these guys are getting touches, and Kenneth Walker back running. He had a nice rushing game on Monday Night
K9
Football.
back, man.
Very nice rushing game against the Eagles, so I expect him to be able to come out here and do something similar against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans too. I mean, not Titans. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm taking Seattle, man. Seattle they playing better. I think they've been playing a little bit better. They've been obviously had a losing streak. I think they're just a better team than the Titans. Will Levis, they probably gonna do the same thing that Trevor Lawrence did when Trevor Lawrence had that high ankle sprain and he played the next week. That's probably gonna be the same thing that's gonna happen here.
So you expecting him to come out and play?
He might come out and play. He said he was all right. So, even with that being said, I do think Seattle, they run the ball very well. I think it's going to be a close game like the spread shows. But I think overall, I think Seattle gets it done. Even though it's on a short week for Seattle, but nevertheless, I think Seattle, is the better team in this spot. So I'm taking the Seahawks, man. Go Hawks.
All right. Next game on the slate, we have the Washington Commanders versus the New York Jets. Jets. They just put up a goose egg against the Dolphins. However, they are a 3-point favorite going into this game against Washington. So what say you about that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the better defense and the better team. The Jets are the better team. The Jets are at home. The Commanders, I don't remember the last time they won a game. It's been so long. I can't even recall. So the Commanders' defense.
Do they know when they won a game?
The Commanders' defense isn't that good. Isn't good at all. But, I mean, obviously they have a shot with the Jets' offense not being that great. But it's kind of weird on how the Jets' offense put up 30 points, the week prior to playing the Dolphins, and then they put up 0 points this week. So,
I mean, I think the Dolphins
they're inconsistent, man.
Up, though. I think the Dolphins' defense has come alive in the second half, so they have been a lot harder to rush against and to score on just because they are formidable opponents out there, and they're not to be just ran over. So I could understand why in this meeting the defense was a little bit better, but
yeah, I mean, the Jets defense, I can't pick the Commanders, man. The only team I can pick them against is Carolina, and that's it.
If a bad offense can score on a team, it's the Washington Commanders that they can score on. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
Right.
I think Garrett Wilson has a nice day.
Yeah,
I hope that Breece Hall gets a lot more touches than he got last game. I think the boy had like 2 targets in the passing game. And like 6 rushes or something ridiculous. He didn't have shit.
I don't know why they get away from that.
Get it.
Man.
I don't know what they're doing.
Just hack it, bro. Nathaniel Hackett, he sucks.
Hackett cannot hack it doing that. So he got to switch that up. Hopefully they get the memo. Hopefully they get their shit together, get it right over there, and go Jets. Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the slate, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What is the spread on this game?
It's probably pick 'em.
It's got to be a pick 'em because they don't even have a real spread for this game yet. Yeah. So I'm going to take that as it's probably a pick 'em. But the Buccaneers are at home on this game, and this is the first of the 4 o'clock games and a very important game, man. They both need this dub.
Yeah, it's 1.
Yeah, pick them. It's a 1-point spread in favor of who?
Tampa.
Okay, the Buccaneers are a 1-point favorite. The Jaguars been on a skid. You know, they've been losing. They are in jeopardy, and the Buccaneers are on a streak, really, to try and surge and solidify their number 1 spot as a playoff team. So I do think this game is of higher importance to the Jacksonville Jaguars
100%.
than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
100%.
Because they can still win another division game and, you know, still solidify their spot. But
Jags losing 3 in a row already.
It's tough. Who they miss? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them?
I don't know what's wrong with him.
They said Trevor Lawrence is back. He was moving, but I mean, is he healthy?
You know what's crazy? I saw a stat today. It was a quarterback comparison. First 48 starts, Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones, same quarterback. And yards, passing yards, total yards, touchdowns and interceptions, passer rating, everything. It's complete same quarterback. Wow.
No, that's sick.
Who would have thought?
But I just don't know. I want to pick the Jags in this spot, but I just don't know if I can trust them in this spot just because of how terrible they've been playing. And I really don't know what's going on with them. Like, I don't get it. You say the quarterback is healthy. Okay, cool. Put him out there and let's see it. But sunshine ain't shining right now.
Nah, he ain't.
And
it's like they stall out, man. Like they get going. First quarter, then between second, third quarter, they stall out.
The Jags are supposed to win this game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they got going on. I'm gonna take Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
Whoa. Didn't see that coming.
I do want to pick the Jags, but scared of them. They need it, but shit.
Yeah, it's done. You already put it down. I'm taking Jacksonville, man.
That's fine.
If there's a team that I think they can bounce back against, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. They gotta realize they just played the Ravens, right? The best team in the AFC.
I understand.
Arguably one of the, they played the Ravens team. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not as good as the Ravens, but I put them on a level playing field with Tampa Bay, maybe a little bit better than Tampa Bay.
How does Tampa Bay do with equal or less teams?
They play well. They compete. Right. It's competitive. But at the end of the day, I think it's still gonna be a competitive ball game.
Yeah.
But I think at the end,
That's the reason why it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, but at the end, I think the Jags will get it done. You know what I'm saying? I think the Jags will eventually get it done. Jags got a better quarterback. Hopefully they find a way to get the ball into the receiver's hands. Calvin Ridley, you know what I mean? I think that loss to Christian Kirk really hurt them a lot. And it's actually showing. Yeah, actually showing.
Security blanket.
So I'm still gonna go with the Jags. I'm not confident in it by any means, but I do like the spot. It's a bounce back spot.
Next game on the slate, we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Chicago Bears. The Bears are a 4-point favorite in this game at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears have been battling. Sometimes they prevail, sometimes they don't. But they've been
Most times they don't.
Most of the time they don't. Kyler Murray has rejuvenated that team, given them some more life. You know, they managed to put some points on the board against a very good San Francisco 49ers team.
Mm-hmm. They put up like 20-some points.
They put up like 20 on them. So they stuck in there. The 49ers did not cover that big-ass spread against them. No, they did. Yeah, they did.
They did.
They scored some extra buckets on them late.
They did, yeah.
But they still were able to score on an impressive team. And I feel like offensively, the Bears are not as impressive as the 49ers, but they have been playing very well on defense, so I think it'll slow them down some. So this one is kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm going to go with the Bears in this spot just because I think the defense slows them down enough for Justin Fields to get enough room to cook. It's very interesting because they running kind of similar things over there. Like, you got to deal with a scrambling quarterback who's going to move, be fast. You know, they got a receiver that can get downfield here and there. Trey McBride is looking very good with Arizona. I'm kind of on the fence of torn. I definitely don't like 4 points, though. If anything, I like the Cardinals on the points and the Bears for the win. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. I'm going to side with you on this one. It seems like, you know, one stat that I saw or heard about was anytime, this was really true last year, anytime a team plays the 49ers, they lose the next game. So it's kind of like the 49ers be beating them up and just getting to them. So
yeah, ramshot.
Yeah. And then, you know, Cardinals going on the road. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears on this one. I think, you know, that loss that they had last week with a shot to win it with that Hail Mary.
They did.
I think they cleaned things up a little bit. I think they play a little bit better. Like you alluded to, their defense is really good. Stopping the run, they're really good at that. Their secondary, healthy, is pretty good as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears on this one at home, and I think they win. Like you said, I don't think they cover, but I do think they win.
Okay. Neutralize James Conner, and y'all got something going.
We got the Bengals too, don't we, up there?
Yeah. I didn't forget. Next game on the slate, we have the Dallas Cowboys in a goodie.
Yeah, that's a good one right here.
Versus the Miami Dolphins, and probably one of their lowest point spread favorites of the season.
Yeah.
They are a 1.5 point favorite in this game versus the Cowboys. Now,
we got two front running teams right here. These are
10-4.
Two of the teams that beat up on scrubs, and then when it comes to playing quality opponents, they fold. Yeah, they struggle and fold. So, who's the better of the two?
But I will say this, though. Right now, the Dolphins' defense is top 4 in rushing yards. And
the Cowboys don't
top
rush.
10 in passing yards. They're second in sacks allowed, 6th in first downs, 11th in third down conversions, and they 4th in yards per play and 9th in turnovers. So they do have a lot of positive things going for them. Their red zone efficiency, you know, is still not great, but I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins, especially. The biggest thing is Tyreek Hill coming back this game. I would expect him to be back this game.
Right.
After the ankle injury. We're going to see how this week goes in practice or whatever, but I'm expecting Tyreek Hill to be back. I know Tyreek really wants that 2,000 yards. And the Dallas defense has been reeling, man. They've been reeling. And I do think after what James Cook just did to them, I think Mostert is about to come out here and try to have himself a field day. So I think the Dolphins got enough going in their favor. They get the ball off really quick with Tua, so that pass rush may not have that much time to even get to him. The O-line has been holding up pretty well for Tua most games. Defensive line has been rushing. They got some real savages on that defensive line. I like it. So give me the Dolphins, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a good one. This is a good matchup. It's tough too because the way I look at it, it's like, all right, yeah, Tua wants to. He don't want to sit back in that pocket long. He want to make quick throws. But then you
Less
got
than 3 seconds.
But then you got Stephon Gilmore, who is a press cornerback who will get up in the face of any wide receiver. But at the same time, it's like, do they want to?
Waddle did.
Do they want to get in front? Do they want to press Tyreek Hill? Do they want to press Jalen Waddle?
Back up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of like the problem I'm having with trying to figure out what's the side
Hill
here.
hit a couple, and he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably go the other direction, man. I'll probably take the Dallas Cowboys, especially them coming off of that terrible loss. They got embarrassed, man. They really did get embarrassed. And I still do believe that the Dallas Cowboys overall has a better team than the Miami Dolphins. Now, here's another spot that doesn't fit Dallas as well as them being on the road. them playing in grass, and this is not a sub 500 team that they're playing.
They got some dogs over there.
But I think what I really like about the Dallas Cowboys pick right here is the fact that they did just get embarrassed, man. They really did. And I think sometimes when they get embarrassed, they don't go on those skids like some of these other teams. They don't lose back to back.
Stephon Gilmore, Bland, they have some guys who can cover in the secondary and really, especially with as quickly as the Dolphins get the ball out. It's not like they have to cover them a long time. It's just the problem is it feels like longer because these guys are fucking fast.
Yeah. I just see Tua in my mind. I just see Tua getting sacked a lot for some reason. I just see him trying to run and just getting sacked. I just see it.
We gonna see.
So I'm running it back with the Cowboys once again. Don't lose it for me. Don't blow it for me, you freaking Cowboys.
The offense is fourth. The Dolphins are fourth in sacks on offense, so they don't get sacked that much. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the slate, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very tough division matchup here, but Houday is a 2-point favorite on the road.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, I'm liking Houday after what I saw over the past couple of weeks.
Pittsburgh is making it very difficult for you to like them. I get it.
It is. Even though they're at home, it's still tough. They got to bounce back. But I feel like we've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Those are road games.
And I still ain't seen them bounce back. And Browning is not fucking around.
He's not playing bad. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all realize this, but Browning is not
he's
around.
legit. He's decent.
I kiddingly said, are they better with Browning than Burrow? But he's not playing bad. The only thing that's really in their favor is Jamar Chase went down in that last game. He had an injury. So the status of Jamar Chase is the part that makes it a little bit difficult, but I still like the Bengals. They pretty consistent on both sides of the football, and they still got some other players out there. You got Joe Mixon, you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd. You got some guys who gonna make some plays and make some stuff happen. So,
say he's day to day.
Yeah, I don't like day to day.
With separated shoulder, day to day. Okay.
I don't like day to day.
And you're a receiver and you catch balls.
Separated shoulder, that don't sound good at all. But I'm going to still go with him because I think Browning has been making some smart decisions with the football, and they can still run the ball with Joe Mixon. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has been up and down. They can cause a turnover here and there, but then sometimes they just give up a fuck ton of yards. So I can't roll with that.
I am going with the terrible towel, man. I'm going to stick beside you. Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh. You changed your quarterback. I'm not a Mitchell Trubisky guy. I don't like Mitchell Trubisky. You got Mason Rudolph in there. That's the starter this week. I think he gives the team a better shot to win games. They played a terrible game this past week. They did. But they are at home now. Mike Tomlin, home dog. I'm going to take that. I'm taking those odds.
The Browns are the only team.
I'm taking those odds more often than not.
The Browns are the only team that can prosper on their third and fourth quarterback. I'm taking believing it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm taking them at home to win in an ugly, nasty game, close game. The defense has to step up because the defense hasn't been stepping up like they were in the beginning of the season.
Are you familiar with U-Law?
Who that?
U-Law.
Never heard of it.
Jet Li's character in the one was called U-Law.
Don't know who that is.
He lost. He died. He went to hell. He went to a mountain where he had to fight a whole bunch of people. And in hell, you know what he did? He said, I am U-Law. I am nobody's bitch. And he fought a whole mountain of people. And I feel like that's what the Bengals do in some of these games. They showed some fight back against the Vikings last weekend, and they came back in that game, even though they were getting punched in the mouth. And Jake Browning showed some poise. The defense showed some poise, got some turnovers, got some takeaways. And that Pittsburgh Steelers defense is very susceptible to an ass whooping. So for that reason, I am still sticking with the Bengals.
I'm standing beside the
I love you, Tomlin, but fuck no, I'm not picking you this week. Can't do it. Sorry. Next game on the slate. Waiting all day for Sunday night. We got the New England Patriots versus the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are a whopping 6-point favorite on Christmas Eve. I don't know if it's going to be a Christmas gift. I just feel like that's a lot of points for the Broncos. But what say you about this one?
Well, I don't like the Patriots to win this game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos coming off a loss. I'm not favoring the Patriots. I don't like the Patriots this year. I don't think they have enough talent. I do think the Broncos bounce back this week and kind of figure things out.
They put up 17 points on the Chiefs.
Last week they didn't play very well. I think they knew that. They got out the gate, blown the doors off of them early by Detroit. So I think the Broncos going, and they're at home now, so I think they play a little bit better. I do think it's going to be a closer game than 6, to be completely honest, because it's a primetime game, and that's what happens, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take the Denver Broncos in this spot right here. Home bounce back win. I'm taking Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I think
playing a less than quarterback too, so that defense is probably going to play a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I think your best bet in this game is the under 4.5. These teams do not traditionally put up a fuck ton of points, but I definitely like the Broncos to win in this spot. I'm not picking the Patriots. The Patriots show some signs of life. However, it's not that much life. To me, they're still a dumpster fire. So I'm going to take the Broncos. They got beat up by a very good Detroit Lions offense last week, and I do think they want to bounce back at home. So I'm going to take the Broncos. I don't know about 6 because the Patriots defense is still good. And the Broncos defense has been pretty good, which is why I really like that under on that game. But even at 34.5, which is not super high, I just feel like the Patriots are not going to put up that many points. So for that reason, give me the Broncos. Probably taking the under on that too, even though I don't like overs and unders that much. Next 3 games, we have a good old holiday special, Christmas slate. First one up at 1 p.m., we have the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders
versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 9.5-point favorite in this game at home. That's a lot of points.
For a division
game, that's a lot of points. I think the Chiefs are still kind of pissed off. Patrick Mahomes managed to win last week, but it wasn't a fantastic game. He was a little pissed off at the play with Tony.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, man, you are pissing off the wrong person on your team, not the star quarterback. But I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points for a division game, though. I think the Chiefs just have more firepower. They can still play better defense. Of course, we're going to see a much better fight than we saw out of the Chargers versus the Raiders. But I think the Chiefs ultimately win this game. Still a little pissed off. Patrick Mahomes still fighting for his respect at this point.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too, man. Last time they played in Arrowhead, they lost, so I'm pretty sure they're going to go out there and win. You're not going to get too many dubs in Arrowhead. There's only a certain amount of teams that's going to do that, and it seems like it's the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, I think the Chiefs going to. Yeah, I think the Chiefs going to do what they got to do at home. They're going to handle business. They're going to beat the Raiders. Raiders did have a phenomenal game against the Chargers. That's falling apart.
Game of a lifetime.
We're going to bring them down a little bit. Patrick Mahomes is going to bring that down to earth a little bit.
That was the peak of the roller coaster.
Yeah, we're going to bring them back down, and we're going to handle business like we're supposed to. Because the Chiefs, they starting to fall. They starting to feel like they falling, in the rankings now with some of these other teams on the AFC side. So
they like to get it together late in this.
Yeah, so they're going to pick things up and figure shit out. So I'm going with the Chiefs, man.
Next game on the slate, we have our second holiday special. At 4:30 p.m., we have the New York Football Giants versus the EAGLES, Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles are a whopping 12.5-point favorite in this game and the largest point spread of the week. I think that's a lot of points for that Eagles team that has been reeling in a division game, but I am going to take them to win. That's a fuck ton of points for a division game once again, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think the last couple times Philadelphia beat us, they beat us by like 20. So I'm not even going to say it's a lot. I think this is a good spot for Philadelphia to bounce back after that gauntlet of teams they just faced. You know what I'm saying? So we all know who the teams are. I think this is the perfect spot for their defense to get right because obviously the Giants' offense isn't that good. Giants on another road game this week as well. They just got off the road, playing in New Orleans. Now they in Philadelphia. It's going to be crazy on Christmas Day. Ain't no Tommy DeVito going to do nothing that day.
If you can't beat the Saints, you can't beat the Eagles.
Yeah, so, I mean, you only put up 6 points or 3 points against the Saints.
It was not enough.
Yeah, stop it. So Philadelphia is going to have a good game this week. They're going to bounce back, and I think they get the job done. They handle business, and they handle it in a dominant fashion.
Okay. Well, last game on the slate, waiting all year for Monday night.
Yeah. Oh, man, this game right here is it.
Last Monday night game of the year, right?
Yep.
We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers. And this should be a hell of a game.
A doozy.
The 49ers are a 5.5-point favorite in this game at home. I do understand the 49ers being the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But 5.5.
Think it's a lot?
I think it's a lot for the Ravens. Because the Ravens have been known to stick in there. They only had a couple games where they really just lost it. But I'm gonna go with the Niners to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like them to cover the spread. I'm gonna go with the Niners to win though. Because they at home. Only because they're at home.
Yeah. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens on the road. I think this is probably going to be a Super Bowl preview. I believe that the Ravens and the 49ers will end up meeting in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I
so you
think
the
they
49ers
will.
taking over the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys
Absolutely.
and all those
A healthy
guys over there?
49ers team? Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the Ravens defense is so good that it can handle any of the teams in the AFC, right? You got a Kansas City team that's not that as good as they were offensively.
Jackson, they never beat.
Right. Never say never. But in this spot, I'm really taking the Ravens because I got Lamar Jackson as my MVP winner, and I had a future on him at plus 1,200. So I need him to win and beat Brock Purdy.
Because I need that money.
Because I need that. Because that's the main reason. That's the main reason I want the Ravens to win this game, and I think they're going to win it because they have a really good defense. I think it's a physical game. I do think the total is a little bit high. I think it'll be lower than 47 because of both teams playing very good defense. But it can also be a shootout as well. So this game is going to be interesting to see. Monday night games are really close. They're really interesting. It's a good matchup. So on Christmas, so I'm taking the Ravens, man. I'm gonna go the other way on this one.
All right, Tashawn. We're gonna see if you set it off in this one because we know you need that money.
Yeah.
But hey, man, that's the whole slate, man. That's all of the games that we have for Week 16. So without going too much and just talking your ear off, these folks still want to know what exactly are your best bets.
My best bets. Okay, I got you.
So talk to them, man. Tell them what's your best bets out of all this.
So last week, best bets wasn't good. My best bets were terrible. It was probably
some of your worst bets.
Yeah, some of my worst bets. So
It went 1 and 2.
went 1 and 2.
I went 2 and 1.
Not good.
My goddamn Falcons lost
Not
to
good.
the one win Carolina Panthers. Come on. But go ahead and tell the people what you got.
So this week, my first bet I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns plus 2.5. They are playing Houston. I think that
Taking
defense
my teams.
travel.
Taking my
I'm gonna
teams.
take the Cleveland Browns to cover. win, hopefully, but they cover. That's even great. That's great as well. So I'm taking Cleveland.
Orange head, bro. You taking my
I'm taking Cleveland.
Go
okay.
ahead, bro.
The next one, I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
Rams coming back home. Who they playing? I forgot. Don't even matter. Whatever the spread is, I think it was like 4.
Rams playing the Saints.
Rams playing the Saints. Yeah, Rams -4.
Taking one of my team. You know,
Taking the Rams at home to cover against the Saints. I don't think the Saints play very well Don't think the Rams play very well on the road. I mean, the Saints play very well on the road, so I'm taking the Rams to win and cover.
I just don't think the Saints play very well.
And then the last one. The last one I'm going to roll with.
What you got there, son?
I'm going to roll with the Baltimore Ravens, +5.5 against the 49ers.
Now, with the point spread, they ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore +5.5 against the 49ers. And those are going to be my best bets for this week.
All right. Pretty nice there, man. I like how you scooped there and swiped one of my teams.
There's plenty of other ones you can choose from.
Head, bro. But I think in consideration of everything that you just said, I think the teams that are popping out to me, the ones that are standing out the most, I'm going to roll with the Seattle Seahawks. This is a 2.5-point favorite. I think they've resurged a little bit over there in Seattle. I know it's a road game, but I do like them. I think what they've been putting together offensively and healthy, especially if Geno is back with DK, Tyler, and K9, and Charbonnet coming to back up K9 to give him some breathers. I think they got enough flowing over there to get it done. Other one I'm going to take in this spot, I am going to take – it's so tough with some of the point spreads that make it ugly. But I'm going to take the Packers, 4.5-point favorite over Carolina on the road. I think the Packers need that game. They want that game, and they'll take that game. And the other one, I'm going to switch it up on you. Give me the under 34.5 in the Patriots and Broncos. I don't see the Patriots scoring that many points on that Broncos defense. And I also don't see that Broncos offense scoring that many points on that Patriots defense. Give me the under on that one. Even though that's pretty low, I think one of those teams doesn't even score 2 touchdowns. So give me that. That's my best bets, man.
All right, I like it, man. I like it. But we got one more. We got. Wait a minute. We got one more bet for you. One more play.
I know you had one. You know, for those of y'all that didn't know, he took he took a nice vacation, man. I know, but did you go pick up the dog yet when you went on vacation?
Yeah, I did.
You went and picked up the dog?
Picked him up.
So I mean, we gotta talk about
the dog of the week. Yep. This week, man. Last week, my dog didn't bark. Last week, I took the Dallas Cowboys, and they screwed me. So this week, I'm going to take them again to bounce back and beat Miami, all right? I'm taking them again. I'm going to run it back. I'm taking them again. We're going to run this thing back, Dallas. Come on, let's make something happen, and let's see if you can bark this week, because last week, you let the Buffalo Bills dominate you, and it wasn't a good sighting. So hopefully you got dogged out last week. So hopefully you come back ready to play. You know what I'm saying? You got some you got some film, you got some footage. You're looking at the Miami Dolphins. You probably had it marked on the schedule for a while. Let's go Cowboys. That's my dog this week.
You said you took the Cowboys, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, brother, I got an interesting dog myself. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
The Indianapolis Colts are going against my home team, man. I hate to see it. But they reeling over there, man. I don't know what they got going on, and the Colts, they definitely got some dogs over there, and they likes to fight. They like to bark. So I'm gonna take the Colts in this spot to win over this reeling Falcons team, even though the Falcons play pretty well at home most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, man, that's where we at with
So
it.
there you have it. You got the rundown, you got our best bets, and you got our dogs of the week, man.
Got it, but make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all keep showing us some love so we can show it back. I'm still not seeing the slips. Send those slips. Show some slips. Tell us what you rocking with. Tell us what you not rocking with. If that pick sounded like it was basura to you, let me know. I want to know. Because I want to get a good slip in. I want to win. I don't have to be right. I just want to win.
Right.
So let us know y'all thoughts. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Tune in with the gang. And we're going to keep on hitting y'all across the head with more wonderful content. Make sure you check out Takeaways if you haven't. We take some time and we really break down what we saw last week to prep you before we get into the rundown. So, take all this information, put it together, put it in your slip. Show us some love when you hit that heart. And, yeah, man, make sure y'all come back. Stay tuned. We're going to be right here.
Till next time, week 17, we'll see you. We out. All right.